Hello everyone and welcome to another D4H feature video. My name is Billy Pappas. I'm the Emergency Management Solution Specialist here at D4H, and today we are going to be focusing on preparedness. It's September, it's Preparedness Month hosted by FEMA, so we want to show you in D4H how you can be better prepared and how our software allows you to execute that capability with great efficiency and extreme ease. So today what I'm going to be focusing on, and again, it's kind of more of a higher level video, nothing extremely tutorial, but I'm just going to show you the features of where these pre-planned preparedness and planning can really come into play. And what a great segue by saying play. In D4H, we have these things called plays. These can be hazards, these can be incidents, these can be pre-plans. Basically, this allows you to create an item within D4H that when you click it, everything is created from the get-go. So if you see here, I already have a bunch of hazards already filled out and ready for launch. But if I wanted to create something from scratch, so what I notice here is that I have flooding and coastal storm. Maybe let's say I want to create something for just rain as just a really standard example. Let's say it's going to be a rainstorm. We're going to describe it as some sort of rain event or water event or cloudburst event, specifically made for cloudbursts. And the point being is that a cloudburst or a rainstorm, they can be unpredictable. But with emergency management, as we're all emergency managers, we have plans that are always going to be ready for release or ready to put into play because we plan for every single continuity. Now, with this example here, so we can take that PDF plan, that Microsoft Word plan, that plan that is just sitting on your shelf in your EOC, and make it digital, make it dynamic, and make it able to play in our software. So I'm just going to choose an icon to signify rain. Let's just do an umbrella. Channel status. So this is where you can also add in your different levels of activation. I just have some standard ones here, so we're just going to say it's going to be level 1, which is going to be the lower side of it, although some counties, agencies, jurisdictions, they may have different ratings. You can also put that in your settings and customize them as needed for your agency. And then you can also alert all the invited users to this incident. So we have automatic notifications built in. Now, again, if you're activating a plan, if you're activating some sort of response in your EOC, you might have some sort of extra steps to just notify those individuals or send out a message. When you create this event in our software, everything will be notified. You can just click that one little tile, which I'll show you, and everybody will be notified as soon as it's created. So that already eliminates extra steps that you may already have in place, making your job a lot easier with D4H. Now, this is where we get into the fun part of incorporating status boards, forms, any type of information to make our pre-plan able to be used and dynamic and actionable. So of course, I'm going to just start clicking items. I'm going to add in some personnel and roles. I can import some org charts or some items. So I wanted to preload maybe some incident management teams here and then just toss them over. So now when I start the incident, I can just have these teams ready to go, ready to be pre-assigned, ready to plug and play in my system, and press accept. I can also preload some org charts here. I only have 2 templated ones for a recent extension pack that we just released for Canada. These are just going to be staff structured org charts. They're not connected to the roles that I already put in, so I'm not going to put in any, but I'm just going to leave it as is for right now. We can add a map annotations. So if you had any layers, shapefiles, KMZs, KMLs, geographic formats, you can import pre-made layers to already set up your map. Maybe you have mapped out shelters or cooling centers or heating centers or locations of interest, facilities. You can import that geographic layer. So again, you click the tile, everything is presented. And I keep saying tile, but wait for the end of the video and it'll all make sense as we wrap it all together comprehensively. I can put in some forms. What if I wanted to create an IEP like any sort of incident, or maybe on my plan that I'm trying to incorporate and make more active and dynamic, maybe we only have certain forms that we want to fill out for every single incident. What if that was already pre-populated and pre-created? That's, again, why we have this pre-plan and preparedness system in D4H. I can select some items here. I have some folders already made. I can also just maybe click on a few folders. I'm going to import the IEP. And what this is going to allow me to do is I'm going to have all these forms ready to plug and play. You saw that I transferred over 1, but now it's 10. I'm going to have 10 forms to plug and play within my system. I'm obviously going to want to import some weather. I'm going to want to check out my library. We just released digital T cards for resource tracking. I'm going to put that in for a rainstorm. I'm going to maybe take a look at some ambulances for any upticks in public health. I'm going to, let's say, focus on community lifelines. It's going to be important for tracking basic types of just items across our entire city or jurisdiction. And what's interesting within the status board is that we also have some already pre-made collections as well. So maybe you don't just want a blank status board. Maybe you know that for a rainstorm or for a certain plan, you're going to want to prioritize and emphasize specific community lifelines that you're going to want to view in your incident. So for a rainstorm, I want to take a look at the 911 and dispatch for any uptick in calls or related calls for rainstorms and that kind of related hazard. Alerts, warning, and messages for flooding. May want to look at community safety and any sort of neighborhoods or communities, or if I want to activate maybe a CERT team of some sort. Want to take a look at facilities. Want to take a look at fire services. Maybe we take at highway, roadway, and motor vehicle. And then maybe we also take a look at maritime if we're intrigued by any sort of water movement with this rain in a body of water. And maybe let's just put in railway, search and rescue, shelter, and wastewater management if anything gets overwhelmed. So now when I upload this status board and I put it into play, all of those lifelines are going to be present on my status board. So again, just going through, clicking through my status boards, creating my plan and replicating it in our digital software. I'm going to track facilities. I'm going to do health and medical, some hospitals. Let me go into a media log. Maybe some media is going to be transporting media tracker. Maybe I want to do a duplication, or maybe we want to see how both of them work in tandem and then take one out or put one in. And then as we get towards the bottom here, we got some shelters. If there's a university, we can do some student tracking as well. And then let's add in some tasks. So again, we want to be able to manage by objectives. And I think I have a few bundles here. Great. So I can already tie them in via roles and transport it over. Now, again, this whole video is about preparedness, planning, and pre-planning. D4H allows you to have that flexibility and customization to create that type of power within your software. So now we just made this brand new pre-plan together. Let's say it was a plan on my shelf. Again, if it was something in a binder, if it was something on my desktop, and I made it into something actionable and playable. So if I go back to my plays here, we just created the rainstorm for cloud bursts. It is now an option. We can always go back and edit it and make any changes as needed as our plan updates with every single year or every single iteration. So now you're making, again, a static plan something that's really powerful in your field and your operation. So now let's put it into play. I'm going to go back to our operations center here, start new. These are the tiles that I kept referencing. Again, they're quite literally just boxes that you create, you customize, you pre-plan, you're prepared. You can click on one and then you're ready to plug and play. We see our rainstorm right there. You can guess what's going to happen. Going to press that tile. Now we're going to plug and play, start incident. And now out of nowhere, now I don't need to go through those manual steps of activating that plan into an operation and a response. You see here, every single item that we preloaded together is now ready to play. You took your plan, you made it active, you made it powerful, you made it dynamic, and that's what D4H gives you. So if I go back to roles here, you're going to see these are all the roles that I preloaded in here. So now half the work is already done in terms of assigning individuals. If I want to take the extra step and pre-assign personnel and give them specific assignments, I can also do that in the admin area in our collections. If I go to forms, I already have my IEP ready to go with all of these templated forms ready to plug and play. Again, relieving any sort of stress or extra obstacles I may need to encounter to just activate a simple emergency. Now, if I go to the status boards, remember the community lifelines was one that we did together. All of them are ready to plug and play and update as needed across the incident. So with everything that I showed you today in this quick 10-minute video, D4H is preparedness. It's planning. It covers every aspect of emergency management. This software is powerful, it's easy, it's uncomplicated. So when you're thinking about September, Preparedness Month, FEMA, the whole theme of what we have going on right now, just take a moment to think about D4H, what we can offer, and how we can provide solutions for you. So as always, send me an email, drop me a comment below. I'd be more than happy to collaborate and discuss our software to make it work for your agency.